Nope. I only watched the series.
Okay.
I did get the book, but I just didn't read it.
No. I'm just here for the comments.
Okay. Did you watch the movie? Diane, you said you here for the comments. Did you watch the movie? Did you read the book? Anything?
Well, I was watching a little bit snippet on YouTube, but the movie seems, well, which I know normally the book and the movie always kind of different. But the movie, I don't know, it seemed like it was heading in another direction. I lost interest real quick. I don't know, maybe my ADD kicked in or something happened, but so yeah, I'm here for the comments.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Yolanda, you read the book?
I tried to finish. I saw the series on Hulu, but
Okay.
I'm like almost done with the book.
Okay. Yeah, it was a stretch to kind of keep on moving, but I kept going. But it was, it's like any other book. Once you start reading, you want to know what's about to happen. Of course, it wasn't no juicy read, I would say. It wasn't juicy. We read some juicy books, but this one was it was a slow read. It really was for me. It was a slow read, but it was good.
Oh, wow. Did you watch the series, Tynesha?
I did.
Okay.
So for me, it was hard.
Huh?
When I read a book, I envision my own version of the characters. But so what it was hard for me was because I seen the movie version of the characters and it was like,
Right.
So hard for me.
They're
but
totally different, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was pretty much on point. The only thing, I don't know if I didn't come across it in the book, like how in the series she was having flashbacks of this man following her. And I'm like, what the heck is going on with the man following her? But in the book, they didn't really show how she was having those nightmares. So I don't know if I didn't come across it yet, but
No, you didn't. It's not, they didn't mention nightmares.
Okay. So you know how you read different things and the book says something totally different, kind of like the thing from scratch. The book is totally different from whatever. And it's like, okay.
Okay. You read the book Scratch already?
From scratch? No, I ordered it. But I saw the movie.
Okay.
It was really good.
Yeah, I watched the movie also for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was cute. It was sweet.
It was. Okay, let's talk about this book here.
For some reason, I always like to, I'm still waiting for 2 people to come on.
Okay.
Michelle, she just logged on, so I'm waiting for her.
Okay, I'm finishing up a quick quiz online, so I'm not ignoring y'all, okay?
Okay. So yeah, for some reason I like to always read and then watch the movie. I don't know if I can, if I haven't seen the movie, I always like to read first and then watch it later. So, and finish the book, then watch the movie. So I want to get it all.
So most books, that's how it is, when I read the books, like I had read Hunger Games before the movies came out. I was like, oh, this would have been a great movie. But when I got to the movie, and I'm like, what the heck, how they did the characters. And my son was like, because they described these kids like they was just starving, like they was just bare skin and bones. But in the movie, of course, they didn't look that way. My son was like, what, you expect them to be starving? I said, yeah, because that's how they described it in the book.
I heard so many people talk about Hunger Games. I'll be like, what?
It's a series. But the way the book described it, it was, well, again, in my mind, I'm picturing these things happening. But when you see the characters that they portray, the same way like with 50 Shades, all the characters to me were right on point except for Mr. Gray himself, because he just wasn't fine enough to me that I would be like, oh, he's so fine. But in the way the book described, everybody was like, he was super fine, but he wasn't that for me. But all the rest of the characters fit. It's just like, they just didn't pick one that just wasn't fine enough for me.
But the one that they wanted, the man that they wanted turned it down. He wouldn't have fit. The man from Sons of Anarchy with the blonde hair.
Oh yeah,
that's who they wanted. But he didn't want to be typecast. So he said,
wow. That's who they wanted for who?
For Mr. Gray.
And what? I'm sorry.
50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Did you see the book? Read the book?
No.
No, I haven't read the book.
No.
But he has another movie out called Shankland or something like that. And he plays a nice character, but he's a nice looking guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is for a white boy.
Yeah. But he was just like, I just didn't like him. So when they cast characters, and I'd be like, no, I wouldn't picture them. That's
Okay. Michelle, did you read the book? Are you on the airplane?
No. I'm in the airport.
Oh, in the airport. Okay. You read the book or you watched the movie?
No. Yeah, I didn't read. No, I didn't. I just went to log on because I've been disconnected from you guys. So.
Oh, okay, okay. Did you see the movie on Hulu?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, a little bit. Did you hear the movie? Did you watch the movie on Hulu? No. Okay.
Can y'all hear me? I'm not for sure.
Yeah, you kind of
go
going in and out. You kind of going in and out.
Okay. Okay. I'm in this lounge, so it's a lot of people. So.
Okay, just mute
I'm
your
here.
phone.
I'm just listening. I will.
Okay.
I will. Okay.
All right. Okay, so everybody's here. Everybody's here. I think we're go ahead and start. I wanted to start with the beginning of the book. So, they talk about the important settings of the book, Shaker Heights. First of all, did y'all know Shaker Heights was real?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I knew that.
At first, I thought it was just a fake town. And then it was like Shaker Heights. Of course, I'm looking at the back of the book, and I'm like, the author was born there. Did you all know that?
No, I didn't know that.
She was born here in Shaker Heights, Ohio. I could not believe it. And so I was like, wait a minute. I went to Google, like, it's a real place. Because the way they make it seem, like how they talk about perfection and this beautiful place and blah, blah, blah. And they
ain't like that.
I was thinking it was more of just a fake place, Shaker Heights. Like, what? It is a real place. It says the lady, she grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Shaker Heights.
Okay.
Yes. I was like, wow. So she definitely knew about the place, like immediately.
So don't get disappointed when you go there.
Would you say don't be disappointed?
Yeah.
Why? Why you say that?
I live in Ohio. So, we read a book, what was it called? Where the young lady, she was in Idlewild, Michigan. That place, the way they described it, was a Black couple. She might have had AIDS or something like that. I don't remember a book that we read back, but that's the actual place in Michigan. But again, when you go and look for this elaborate town where all these people are together, and it doesn't exist like that, for writing purposes.
So you saying Shaker Heights really is not what they saying? That's what you're saying?
So what I'm saying is, just take like how you got Chicago, and then you have the little suburbs that's outside of it. I don't know, what is it called? Country something? Country club. It looks better than Chicago in some areas, but all of it isn't as great as they make it seem. So that's how it is for me, for Shaker Heights. It's not as elaborate. So here, I would say, how can I say?
At least nice.
It's nice. They have nice areas, but it's not, how can I say?
As elaborate as.
They don't, how can I say? Most people don't realize that Ohio is economically poor until they venture out into something. When they describe it as the best thing since sliced bread, but it isn't.
No.
So they have these big houses in Shaker Heights? Like, is it?
Yeah, they have big houses, but they're not, how can I say, elaborate? I would say all the bigger houses are if you're off the waterfront. So like they have Bay Lake, Westlake, all the things that says lake are the elaborate houses. The heights are, as they described, like in the book, it was like how they call it, the white flight. When they fled out of the cities, that's where they went to immediately, but it wasn't, I don't know, it isn't as elaborate as the houses that's on the lake. You can tell that, they once upon a time were nice houses, but the community has changed, but they are strict far as, like when you drive through there, there's no restaurants that have drive-through windows because they don't want that type of environment, so it's different things. Yeah.
Wow.
Are you familiar with Crestline and or Mansfield, Ohio?
Mansfield is further south. I've heard of it, but I haven't been there.
My brother lived there, and it looked poor.
Yeah, but that's how a lot of it looks.
That's how
But to
Ohio
me,
look.
coming from the Chicago area, you know what I'm saying? That's how it looks to me. But to them, when they describe it, you know, you can't tell them that it's poor. So one of my coworkers, he says that when he first got here, he said the worst thing will happen to him if he dies in Ohio. He said he stopped saying that because people got offended. But you know, a lot of times they don't realize, I don't know if they don't venture out or just don't go anywhere. They don't realize how poor they are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing, Yolanda.
Yeah,
You
know, it's like a disappointment when you hear about it, or even when they talk about like the malls are all closed. So it might have been, how can I say, economically thought when she wrote this book, but now it's like they still have Beechwood, and it's like it's almost deserted. Like they don't have that many stores in that mall. It's like, I don't know how to tell you.
Because she wrote the book in 2017, right?
I don't know when she wrote this book,
But
now it's 2022. But the mall, I'm gonna take a picture of it, and you're gonna be like, right, and send it to you.
Okay. Wow. All right. So first question, there are two important settings, Shaker Heights and the 90s era. How do you think the location and the era added more to the story?
Well, you get a feeling that they thought they was better. You know, it's like a upper echelon kind of neighborhood, and she coming, you living in your car, you've struggled, and they don't understand that. So I think that her role and how the book ended, all of that played a part of it. All of that.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Did you all know that? Did you all get the feel that Mia was Black in the book?
Yes, a little bit. I didn't think, and if she wasn't Black, she definitely was a low-class white person, if that was the case.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when I saw the movie, I was like, oh. That was a good, good pick, for Carrie. But I was just like, I didn't see that in the book. I just thought, like she said, maybe I didn't think Black, but I thought maybe a lower class white person. But she did great. She did great.
It was a little thing.
Well, if you think about it, it was hints that she was Black.
Yeah.
Because when they was like, she had her hair up in a bun or whatever, most times, how we wear our hair up in the bun or whatever. And they talked about Pearl's hair, which was not straight. It was in the braids or whatever. So it was like Pearl was almost a mixed child, So they do talk about that in the book, but the way she talked about it, so she had this house that really wasn't in the, how can I say, the regular part of Shaker Heights. It was in Shaker Heights, but in the house, she had a Asian gentleman and a Black lady, because she felt she was doing her part to help, to bring whatever. So that's what made me think, because she felt, oh no, I'm not prejudiced, because that's the first thing. I do this. But the same way when she, how can I say, I would say almost forced her to clean up her house. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, even though she kept trying to say, I don't need it, I get by, whatever. She just assumed that she was poor. She never knew how much, her art was valued at, she just assumed that, and she was jealous of her too. So it was like, here's my Shaker Heights status. We follow the rules, you get what you want. That's all they say through the book. You follow the rules, you get what you want. You do this, you do this. But Mia had a sense of freeness, and she was jealous of that freeness, even though she wanted that freeness. So like in part of the book, they talked about how she didn't go to the March on Washington or whatever it was. I forget what it was, that the protest, all she can think about was, she thought reasonable. How can I survive on the street? How can I do this? Everything, she turned away a lot of part of her life when it was like, it was no plan, because everything you think, it had to be a plan. It had to be a plan. So Shaker Heights, she always be like, it was a planned city. She had a planned life to live in this planned city. So,
Well, she also stated that Mrs. Richardson, Elena, she also said she didn't view art as work. Like that was like, what are you doing with your time? Like when she said, "Well, I can't be over here all day. I gotta go and do my art, my work." She was looking like, really? Like you just make me clean over at my house, But a lot of people do look at artists and artwork as if it's more of a hobby. Not actual work, so.
Even her parents thought that too, that it was a hobby, that she couldn't make a living off of her artwork or whatever. But even though they noticed her artwork was different, they just was like, whatever. Even the neighbor down the street who noticed the artwork was different, took interest in her. But her parents couldn't see that because they came from a class. Even Miss Richardson, who claims she was from upper echelons, couldn't see or understand her artwork. Because everybody, they feel, oh, well, it's in a museum, it's great art. No, because they don't understand.
Yeah, definitely. Anybody else have anything to share? No. All right. So the author, her writing style includes different perspectives and characters, sometimes on the same page. How did this shape your opinions of the characters, or did you like the style of the writing in this book? So how did you think the author shaped your opinions of the characters? And did you like her writing style?
Okay, while y'all think about that, I got a little brief, for your info. Did you know that the author was actually in the movie?
No.
Yes. So she had a little cameo. Remember when they had the book club and they were meeting, and there was like a little kind of sort of like this little, she was kind of Asian looking woman that was there. Remember when they had the book club and then
I remember
Carrie came in and she was talking. Well, the woman that was speaking right before her, she was kind of Asian looking. I don't know that she is Asian, but she's kind of Asian looking. Anyway, dark hair, kind of like, short shoulders.
Go back and look now.
That was the author.
Yeah, me too. They have a picture. Let me see if y'all can see it.
Yeah, they have a picture
in the book.
Yep, that's her. Yep, that's
her.
Yep, she was in the movie.
Oh wow, I'm gonna have to
just for that little scene right there. And she didn't say much at all.
Well, she did a Stan Lee, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I would have never even thought to look for her.
Me either. I didn't think the author was Asian the way they but she had a very diverse thing. I would never thought that,
Yeah. When I saw her last name, I was like, huh? That kind of was catchy, but then I saw the picture in the back, I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, she is a good writer. And but yeah, the writing style.
So back to that, I can answer. I liked it because sometimes you don't know what another character is thinking. Like in this book, of course, you can tell Moody, he had a thing for Pearl.
Yeah.
But you never knew what Pearl was thinking until the end when, I think it was like a sensory overload for Pearl because all her life she had been brought up as a loner. I don't want to get to know these people. And now all of a sudden he'll go a big family. So it was like too much for her all at one time.
Yeah, definitely. But for some reason, I didn't think Pearl was going to get swayed in like she did, but she got like sucked in real quick with the Richardsons, for her life being the way her mom lived. Most people, like you said, they kind of push back from family.
But her mom told her she was going to stay. They were supposed to stay at this place. That's what it was. Her mom figured, oh, this is a good environment. We're going to stay here. We're not going to relocate. We're not going to move again. So now she felt, okay, well, since we're not going to move again, I can go ahead. And then, what happened was Moody, he didn't have anything else to share with her. He invited her into the family, which I don't think he really, if he could take it back, he wouldn't have done, you know what I'm saying? but he was like, okay, he sensed that she was bored or whatever. He invited her to his family. So that was his only recourse of trying to keep her.
Yeah. But then
I think that's what she wanted, though. She needed something to hold on to.
Right.
Because she didn't have her father. She had no idea. She had never spoken to her about her father. Or
her mother family.
Nothing.
She didn't
so
have
now
anybody.
you met this family, and they seem to have it all together, per se. So let me just snuggle in. And they was accepting, even though they had some, they was a little heavy with it. There was some cuts there and some words and things that they said to her that was kind of like, you want to be with this family? But it didn't matter because it was a unit. So she wanted to be part of something.
Okay, a belonging. Okay,
yeah.
I see what you're saying. Okay, because I'm like, when she started like trying on Lexi clothes, and when she stepped into the house, she was just like, oh my God, you know what I mean? And she wanted to like kind of like her and Lexi to kind of be sisters, or when she had bonded with her. When she went to the clinic and stuff, she was like, oh, she told me, because remember, she was like, are you sure you don't want to tell Serena, or you don't want to tell Brian? And she's like, no, I didn't tell no one but you. The look on Pearl's face was like, oh.
And she was full of shit.
Yeah, but I think Pearl knew it.
Yes.
I think Pearl knew it because she knew that she was using her because when she was like, when she went there and told her name, that her name was Pearl. And she was like,
that's
the
low
people
down, dirty.
You could have made up anybody's name, because if they wasn't asked for ID, you could have gave any name out of the blue. That way nobody would have gotten in trouble.
Right. That was so trifling.
It was.
I mean, I know you don't want to get caught by your mama because the owner of the medical clinic is your mom's friend, but you ain't gotta say it's Pearl. Like you ain't even ask her. Can I
got a mama too.
But she filled it out like it was A-okay. And that was the crazy part to me.
Exactly. But I do like the dialogue between Mia and her mom, although Pearl thought her mom was lying about everything. I did like the closeness that they shared, and I do like how as mother and daughter they were able to talk about anything. There were, you know what I mean? Just have that open dialogue there. I love that. I did. Because if you notice with Mrs. Richardson, hell, she couldn't talk to none of her kids. I mean, they was all over the fucking place. Seriously. Trip over here with all the girls, Moody over here doing his thing. Lexi and baby, she couldn't even control Izzy, baby. Oh my God.
I love Izzy.
Yes.
That was my girl.
I really love Izzy too.
So actually, in the book, the way they make it seem that her mother, it's kind of like her mother really couldn't stand her because Izzy free spirit was kind of like how she wanted to be. But then because of her complications in her pregnancy, she took it out on Lizzie and didn't know how to express that to anybody about what Lizzie did. But Lizzie actually was, how can I say, her in a new, well-developed, because she wanted to protest, but she's like, oh no, I can't do this. She wanted to go off with the boyfriend that she was her high school sweetheart, but she's like, oh no, I couldn't do this. But Izzy was like, oh, but I like how the dynamics, how they switched the two daughters, how both of the daughters was like, Izzy wanted to be with as Mia as her mom, and Pearl wanted to be with her mom,
Yes.
So it's ironically that they both thought the other mom was perfect. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even though, I mean, it's all kind of mothers. None of us got a book or whatever, but it was just, I thought that was funny.
Yes. That was amazing. Next question. Pearl is finally able to act like a normal teenager when she spent times with the Richardson's family. All the kids, except maybe for Izzy, had grown fond of Pearl. Do you think that they all had genuine affection for her, or did they have selfish intentions?
Well, based on what I can remember in the movie, I think that Woody's intentions were initially genuine. He just wanted to get to know her. Plus I think he thought she was really pretty and all that. She was fun to be around. The daughter, I think the oldest daughter, I can't remember her name. I think she was a little manipulative.
Lexi.
I think she was a little manipulative snake from the get. And the brother just wanted some black cooch, the big man. So
Yeah. I think they all were. Crystal, were you gonna say something?
I was listening to what she was saying in agreement with Trip.
Okay. Yeah, I think Izzy was so Mia, I'm sorry, Pearl was so different.
mm-hmm.
And I think that's what had drawn Moody and Trip. She was just, because everybody, of course, all of them grew up in Shakers Heights, but Mia, Pearl, she was just so different. Far as she was into poetry. Who said that? I think Trip had said, no, it was Moody. He said, I still don't even know what was that book she named? What was it called? Remember the book that she named? Something about what was that movie? That book. Hold on, let me look at my notes. The Bell Jar. Remember I don't know if you guys remember, but he talked about, he said, I still don't even know what the Bell Jar is, and you read it just for fun. So Pearl was on a different level, intellectually, and I think that right there had drawn the Richardson's kids to her, far as her mama being an artist and how their house didn't have it wasn't perfect like their house was. It was like, it's a couch, a little couple of chairs over here, stuff mismatched, just all kind of different artwork, the spider work, artwork on the wall, it was just a different type of atmosphere. And far as Mia, they can just talk to Mia. They couldn't even talk to their own mama. So everything about them, I think, was just so different from their lifestyle. So I think that's how Moody was drawn to her from the beginning. And Trip, he did think she was a beautiful girl, but he also felt like she different than all the other rest of the little bimbos I date or I had sex with. She was something different. And he told her, like, you are different. And she was like, what do you mean? Like, she didn't even know, like, this is just who I am.
Right.
Why do you feel so sucked in? Like, what are you talking about? I'm different. Yeah, I'm black, but what? So a lot of times they say opposites attract, so people are normally drawn to people that's different from them, definitely. So
yeah, they couldn't talk to their mother. I don't think it wasn't that they couldn't talk to their mother. They realized when Izzy, who didn't have a filter, talked to their mother, their mother would get upset. So that's probably why they refrained from talking to her. But Izzy didn't care. I don't care what you're doing. You treat me crazy anyway. When I try to tell you or express stuff to you, you just go wild off. Or even kind of like the incident when they go to Maribel's, the little birthday thing.
Yeah.
And there was like, Moody was the one who originally was like, let's invite Pearl. But she goes off on Izzy when Izzy was like, oh, that's a great idea. But it was Moody who brought it up. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they often saw things. Like, she just blamed Izzy for everything, even though it was Moody who said, let's invite her.
Yes.
Izzy didn't conform. Izzy was not going to conform. They must have wanted robots. She wanted little mini hers. You know what I'm saying? So for Lexi, she was the closest thing to it, but Lexi had another life outside. She was living a little different in the streets than she would live when she was at her home. Izzy said, I don't care what's going on. I'm gonna do it like I want to do it. So that's why Mia was so appealing to her, because that's the lifestyle that she was already living that lifestyle. So
yes.
Easy.
Yes. And Lexi, she was just being another little Elena, like just like her mother, she was raising her to be just like her. Even in the movie when at the end when she was like, it was me. I'm not perfect. Her mama said, yes, you are.
Exactly.
The girl done told you all the foul shit she did, and you still won't say she perfect. She just had that vision in her mind that yes, you are going to be just like me, Yeah, so and there's some parents that's out there that's like that. They want their child to be perfect. Like that's it, boom. No mistakes, no nothing. You know, it's crazy, but you have to live up to a certain standard in some people's households.
And that's crazy.
You know, yeah. And then I even thought about when Mia, when she had gotten pregnant and went back to her mom's house, and her mom didn't invite her to her own brother.
Ooh.
Now that was a low blow. Just because she pregnant, you
They
don't
don't
want
know what's
people
going on.
talking. Oh,
But they don't know the problem. They don't know the story. You know the story. Okay, so they paid me some money. And what's wrong with being a surrogate? I'm not doing nothing wrong. Well, I don't think it's the best idea for you to come. Oh, so now you're gonna leave me and ain't gonna have no closure. Okay.
Your only brother, blood brother. I don't think you need to. I don't think you need to come. She said, I think you can celebrate his life in your own way.
And that's why she never came back.
Never showed her face. I don't blame her. I do not blame her. And Mia, she lost her parents, basically lost her brother, you know, the only person that basically loved her, you know. It was crazy. Then she ended up losing Pauline, you know. The book didn't talk about them being lovers, but in the movie they became lovers, and I was like, okay, that's different. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming at all. Like, But yeah, I thought that was just really, that was, I ain't never seen nothing, I heard nothing like that. You can't come to your own family sibling like what? Because you pregnant?
And they never talked about religion. So I was like, where's this coming from?
Yes. It's all about persona, what they don't want people to know. It's like, we have to live this way.
You know, even though we're kind of up north, these are still considered Southern Bible Belt states. They don't sell alcohol here, only in certain stores, and they don't do that. You know, it's like, what the heck is going on? Y'all know we right next door. And you know, in Michigan, I'm originally from Michigan, they do everything, you know. But here, no, still to this day, certain stores, they don't sell hard alcohol. They only have 1 or 2 in discrete locations. You know, you got to know where those are at. They don't sell, well, not alcohol, liquor, hard liquor. They only sell it in certain stores. But so for the lady who, because again, and there's a lot of, what do you call those people? Amish country here. So even though they don't mention religion, it's like, that's all they think about is religion in Ohio. You know, it's like, okay. So she doesn't mention it. I don't know if her family, but they have a lot of churches, but they also have a big Amish community, which is very religious. So you're not supposed to be out there having sex anyway. You know, when they figured they done taught these kids about sex, because we taught you at an early age that you shouldn't even want to have sex because you know the risks, you know what's going to happen, and you know the outcome. So that's what they figured is going to happen. But no, they didn't think of the teenage hormones taking over whatever they done taught. So, but she's from Pennsylvania, again, Amish country, even though they don't talk about it, but they're very religious. So it's like, no. So here she comes home, pregnant, out of wedlock, and now, even though you have a child, but I think her mother, it wasn't so much that she was being a surrogate, it was so much, you're carrying this baby, that's your baby, you're going to develop a connection. The same way her brother told her. He was like, I'm the uncle, the baby's uncle. Think about that. Don't just be giving this baby away.
But even when her mama first seen her, the look on her face was a disgust.
It's disappointing. Right. You know, here it is. So again, because it's Bible country, I feel you're in a relationship with somebody, and then I should know that you probably should have came home and told me that you was in a relationship with this person. So it shouldn't just be out of the blue. Here you come pregnant, you know, almost about ready to have this baby.
Yeah.
And I don't know about it.
Yeah. So my question to you, say you was in a position like Mia, and this man came to you and wanted you to be a surrogate for their family. Like, she didn't have no money. Her back was against the wall. She was about to be expelled from school because the financial aid or whatever scholarship had ended or didn't fund her that year or whatever, that semester. And he propositioned her and said, we will give you $10,000, $12,000 if you be our surrogate. that time. Her body was functioning. They had tried so many times. I mean, couldn't do it. So like, would you be open to do something like that?
You asking that to everybody?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll start out then. I think that at that time in my life, if I was in her situation, and given that I did not have any children, and if I were able to have interaction with the, stay connected to, I mean, because it's one thing to just have a baby somebody and then give it away and never see it again. But it's quite another thing to be able to give the gift of life to a couple that is seemingly deserving and loving and really, really wanting a child. I think that's the ultimate gift. So if that would have meant helping to progress me forward at that time, because literally it's really not my baby. It's their baby. It is their baby. So I'm just acting as an incubator. I think that I would do it, but I would still want to be able to have connections with them periodically, just to, to see how the child is doing, to, I don't necessarily have to be Auntie Ari and shit like that. I would just want to know over time how, how things are progressing. So yeah, I would say that I would definitely consider it.
Okay. All right. Diane?
That's a tough one. I don't know. Because you become attached, even though you're doing it for someone else, maybe towards the end. I don't know. Sometimes maybe if my feelings change. I don't know, because I get wishy-washy. We're like, all deals off. Take me I'm keeping my baby. Me and this baby done grew a bond. And
okay, Mia.
Naturally so, a lot of African American women don't really do that. So, it's kind of more of a culture thing too. So I don't know. I know with me not having kids, and if that's like my first one, I don't know. I'll probably renege and be locked up somewhere. So that's a little tougher.
Michelle?
That's a no. Would never. There's not enough money. I'm not trying to have no baby inside of me, so yeah, no.
Okay.
Sandra?
If I was in her situation with no kids and having had thoughts of having kids or wanting kids of my own, I probably wouldn't do it. But when I was 19, I had a kid. But if I had kids and didn't want any more, I think I could do it. I mean, now I would do it for someone, but at 19, no, especially if you didn't have kids already of your own and you know you want kids. I wouldn't do it before I had kids of my own, wanting kids. But if I was that age and had no thoughts about kids, was 100% sure I didn't want any, I would do that for someone.
Nice. Crystal?
I would not have done it without having my own kids first. Because I know that once I get pregnant, I don't care who baby it is, it's in me. That baby going home with me. Keep your money. and you come back next time and we'll work it out. But with me already having kids, I know there's no way I could have done that. In the scenario, it was a great proposition because she needed the money at that time, but yeah, they're gonna have to miss me with that. Yeah.
Yolanda?
Well, I understand why she did it, and she was really going to give them a baby until her family got involved. That includes her brother and her mother. Because she just thought, okay, yeah, I'm helping them out because they appear to be such a nice couple. You know, she said the husband's sweet, whatever. But I just wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? But if I was in her same position, I would have did it because I wouldn't think none of it. This is my way. I want to finish school. I need to go to school. I need the money. I would have did it. You know, the way she said, oh, I'm gonna have 3 terms knocked out, you know, with this money, you know, I keep going or whatever. That's the way she thought. I understand why she did it, but I understand why she changed her mind because like it's people, how can I say, people in their thoughts, sometimes you be like, oh no, I don't need to listen to that. But people in their thoughts get into your head and that constantly have you thinking about what decision, even though she had already made her mind to give him the baby. But when people start interfering, because she hadn't told anybody, as soon as she started telling everybody, that's when the thoughts start coming in her head, flooding her thoughts. I'm keeping this baby, and what she ended up doing.
Yeah. Because she told her brother, and she was like, don't tell mama. And
he told it.
He told her mama. Baby, the family, they was going in, baby. That is not none of your child. Now me, I can't do it. I understand her situation. I understand what she's going through, but me, no, I just cannot be pregnant for someone else. I can't even be pregnant for my own damn self. So you think I'm gonna be pregnant for you and whoever? You need to go find somebody else. The money, I'm sure, would sound definitely good at that time, especially when you got no money or whatever. You're young, your body is working, properly. You know, it's a good proposition, but at the end of the day, no. It's too much that goes into it. Look at Mia, you know, she had a baby, she was gonna give it up, she wanted the money, and she never got the money, you know, ran off, you know.
She ran off.
Yeah, she ran off and she got attached to the baby, you know.
And I feel like, well, maybe the others influenced her a bit, but I feel like it was her that wanted to keep the child and not the whole of the influences of others. And I just felt like it was wrong for her to keep it because it wasn't hers.
It was her baby. They used her egg.
She was the carrier.
But they also used her eggs.
They used her own egg. They didn't use the lady's egg.
She didn't have a uterus.
No,
she didn't have a uterus.
Oh, well, that's different. That's different.
I thought they used the
surrogates, right?
No, she didn't. The wife was born without a uterus, so they just used they did it natural, which was crazy. They used a turkey baster, and she used his sperm with the turkey baster.
Well, that's different because then it is her child. I thought it was the wife and the husband that was in.
No, it's definitely the husband.
As is usually done with surrogacy. So then that's not surrogacy then.
Right.
That was just something that they came up with. Oh, okay.
So that's why they didn't pursue it, because actually.
Let me mute my mic back then.
It was the husband's child, but she was going to give it to the wife because they pursued her because she looked kind of similar like the wife.
Right. I get that. I thought that's why they chose her, but I didn't. I guess I missed that it wasn't the wife's egg mixed with the husband's.
Yeah, they didn't get that in the movie either. I didn't realize that as well. I thought it was like Lysandra was saying. I thought it was the wife.
Yeah.
In the movie, she was in the bedroom too. They didn't. She came. They brought the same way in the book. In the movie, they did the same way. She was laying in the bed.
I watched it when it first came out.
Me too.
I don't remember everything.
Yeah.
But they didn't explain that the wife didn't have a uterus. I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
They left that part out, but you saw them, using a turkey baster.
That's not really a surrogate situation, but okay. Turn out like they wanted.
Well, I thought it was a surrogate because she was carrying it for them. It was like, we can't have it. We want you to have it. And it was his sperm. So it was like, once you have it, you carry it and then you give it to her.
Yeah, but it's her child that she's giving away.
Right.
Like they were more of an adoption kind of thing. Like, what was Sherry Shepherd's situation? Remember, she has a daughter with her ex-husband.
That's the exact same.
It wasn't her egg though, right?
Right.
No, they adopted the child, but she didn't want to have any children.
But it was her husband's sperm that they used to make the child.
Exactly. While they were
So it's
still married.
technically him and her's child, and
Right.
Sherry over here. Yep.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. Next
But the
question.
Real
What do you-
Housewives of Atlanta, Candy, she used her egg.
Candy.
Yeah,
them
Candy
kids are
did for
She had
her.
a surrogate.
She had a surrogate. Kim
Mhm.
Kardashian had a
and
surrogate.
Chloe.
And Chloe for the little boy. She had a surrogate. But they used their own eggs and their mates.
Right.
You know. So that's surrogacy.
Okay. What do you think it was about Mia that Elena didn't trust initially?
That she was Black.
How about that? Black, and she had the money to pay for her first and last month rent up front. Cash.
Yeah.
And you're an artist. Driving an old beat up Volkswagen.
Poor.
Exactly. She seemed poor. She was just judging her on the outside. You don't know how much money people have by just looking at them and how they dress. That's what she assumed.
Well, they showed that in the movie when she was able to pay for BB's lawyer fees, $30,000.
How about that?
You living out of you sleeping on a fucking floor all your damn life. You driving that damn ugly ass rabbit.
There's a lot of people like that, believe it or not.
It had sentimental value.
Your damn child. Traveling from state to state, eating peanut butter and fucking nothing else. I mean, and you all of a sudden want to help her with her lawyer fees for $30,000. I would have been pissed too.
Right.
When Pearl found out, she said, "What the hell?
We've been struggling."
And that's why I was going to say, I thought it was selfish of her to keep the child because of the way she was living. There was no stability there. Like she was just bouncing from place to place, doing whatever. And then it's like, well, why? If she had access to, live and do better.
I just don't understand that one right there.
Yeah.
You didn't like Pearl. You don't think we need this? We need this money as well. You act like we have nothing. We have lived poor all my life.
I think that was a personal thing though.
It was.
For Mia. I done lost my brother. So we know the car has sentimental value. I'm not gonna buy a new car. I'm not getting rid of this.
Right.
This is how we gonna drive it.
I get that.
Then she wasn't really, if you notice, when they talked about her art, she wasn't the type of person like, oh, sell my art. Yes, put my name with it. She denied that being her, and that's her face in the museum. After the kids come, no, that's not me. So she's living a low-key life. And and while that child would have had an amazing, stable life with the other family, I don't feel like she would have got what she needed from them like she was getting it from Mia. Right. Even though we
got a lot more
how she was getting it.
She got a lot more to me. She was well educated. Yeah. She was able to comprehend better than most kids. You know what I'm saying? She was well book read. I mean, she felt she only seen the monetary value, but what she gave her was better than most parents give, even dual parent household give their children. As you see, she had responsibility, she was respectable, but in the richest, them kids didn't care what they did. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't trying to be respectful whatsoever because hey, we got my everything.
Mama fix it.
Exactly. But here, Pearl only saw that money value. She didn't see what her mother actually gave her, and she actually gave her a lot more than what the Richardsons had. But she just looked at the monetary value.
I think most kids see that.
I think that it kind of speaks to kind of sort of like that. It back in that time anyway. I don't know if it's true for most artists of today because so many people want to produce their work for monetary gains, when initially artists were, starving artists. That was the thing.
Mhm.
It
Right.
was more about your experiences and your relational wealth and, the things that you were being exposed to and stuff like that, as opposed to, oh, we live in this $250,000 house, driving this, $40,000-$50,000 car.
Yep.
I'm gonna homeschool my child, and we're gonna rent this little raggedy ass Winnebago, and we're gonna go all over the country, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
paint trees in Idaho, and, so I think that you're right. She was able to have more of a well-rounded kind of life, and she didn't. They weren't starving. She wasn't dirty.
Right.
I think that she just, her mom made it so that she can adapt wherever she is,
True.
Yeah. So
and not be so caught up in the
Material,
luxurious things
Yeah.
of life.
Yeah.
She gave her a meaning of this is what
Yeah.
life really is. It's more than, all they saw was, oh, I got a nice house, we got this, we got that. Boom. What else is there we need?
It was all very surface for them. That's why they were so intrigued by her, because she was so intelligent, so creative, so expressive, and not she didn't have ego. They were filled with ego.
Right.
They were, everybody except for Izzy. Those, all of those, the other children, they were like,
I think Moody was.
Hmm?
I don't think Moody was. He was the only one.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'll take that back. I meant the older, the ones that
The
were
older
her
two.
age. That's what I
Right.
meant. The ones that were her age, because Moody was a little guy. So yeah.
Yeah. But he was like, oh no, I don't need a car, even though he knew how to drive. He was still on his bike.
Mhm.
Oh, what? We got new neighbors. Then we go say hello to the new neighbors. But the rest of them was like, oh no, everybody comes to us, or we get invited to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were more popular,
Mhm.
And Moody and Izzy, they was just like, we by ourselves. They was like a little box by themselves, Yeah. And I thought that was so strange when Miss Richardson told her own daughter, like, I never wanted you in the first place.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I was
White
like,
folks tell their
oh,
kids that all the time.
she didn't hold back.
Well,
White
I
folks
thought
tell
it was
their kids
dirty
that.
in the movie when she cut her little ass out that picture.
Ooh,
The family picture. She cut her ass out. She's like, fuck you, little bitch.
Baby, Izzy gave her a run for her money. She was like, I don't understand what is wrong with you, honey. This is how my family is. Izzy, you is like, if you doing some talk, you go left all the time. You always got back talk. You don't want to do nothing I ask you. Go up there and put them fucking kids. Girl, Izzy ass, I love her though. I do.
and Izzy got her right together at the end of the movie. Now watch the little house burn down. Go ahead. Since you love it.
Yeah.
Yes. And she also said, I think I hate my mother.
Mhm.
And Mia was like, I think I hate your mama too. Yeah. Okay, I think I hate her too. Yeah, a lot of her secrets and her past started to hunt her, and she was just done. I mean, even her husband was like, you did this shit to yourself. You brought Mia to this house.
Mhm.
Okay, you the
Yep.
one took Mia over to the McCullough's house to go see the baby. You did all this. You. The common denominator is you. Stop being mad at everybody else. She couldn't do nothing but just standing there like, dang.
But let's talk about the McCulloughs though, because I feel like that baby should have went back with her mama. I don't feel like she should have stayed with the McCulloughs.
Yeah. You think McCullough should have kept the baby?
No, I think she should have went back with her birth
to
mother.
BB?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree too. Yeah, I agree.
And you
That's
fighting.
Yeah.
You fighting a battle that makes no sense. She can adopt another kid.
Yes.
There's plenty of kids that's for adoption. This girl's mama is here. She made a mistake.
Yeah.
She was in a bad situation. Get this baby back to her mama.
Yes. Let's get on the culture part. When they was at the courthouse, he asked her, what have you done to give this little baby culture? What are your plans? We got this Chinese book.
No, ma'am.
They
No,
had,
ma'am.
they had fortune cookies at a birthday party.
We go to
Yeah.
the Chinese restaurant at least once a week.
Right.
We're trying. We're trying.
You ain't doing nothing. Okay.
He was like, really? Are you serious? But it goes to show you, and it's of course open your eyes to all these other family households that do take care of other kids of other nationalities.
Yeah.
You know, what are you doing to nurture their culture and their heritage?
They
You
don't.
know?
No.
Well, you know what?
There was-
Angelina Jolie has that young lady from, I'm not sure what country in Africa she's from, but she takes her there back and
Oh,
forth.
okay.
All of her kids, she takes them to where their original countries are from.
That's
she
why
goes
I
to
love Lena.
She goes to Spelman. She enrolls her in the HBCU, everything. So whatever you need, but most families, it's all about a money. Okay, I'm gonna take you out this destitute country. I'm gonna raise you, but you're doing them a disservice.
Yeah,
You're doing them a disservice because guess what? They're not white,
that's
Yep.
right.
and when they get in the real world, they're not gonna know how to function.
Mhm.
Yep. And that's what they were saying. That's another reason why I was like, see, this book here, it focused literally on the culture and the heritage. We don't really talk about that when, other families adopt other children. They don't really dig or talk about that. But I did like the fact how he got into her ass on that court
He
stage.
got in her.
He got in her. You know what I mean? What are you doing? And she couldn't come back with nothing, and that's so important. It's so important, that's why a lot of the kids, I mean, even when you are raised with your own heritage,
Yep.
they already don't even tell them about the culture. So, if you getting raised from a whole nother type of family, you ain't getting a bit of nothing,
You're not getting nothing.
and it is sad, even us as African American people, we don't even celebrate Black history enough. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, we get one little month, we don't really do nothing, nobody don't say none, ain't nobody doing nothing all the month of February in their house.
Nothing.
They may
Man,
watch
when the
one little movie
Mexican,
or
what is that? The Mexican Day Parade, they
Yeah.
shut the city down.
Cinco de Mayo.
I'm like, why don't Black people do this in February? We got we got the shortest month, but
Yep.
We don't
it's
have a
cold.
day. We don't have a
not
day.
even a day. Like,
It's
So
I'm
they
like, for
try
these
to give us.
Mexicans, these Hispanics, they shut the city down.
Yeah.
Black
Well,
folks
in
too busy
February
fighting
it's
each other.
cold. In February it's cold. We don't do cold.
Yeah.
Ain't coming out
Okay,
here.
what about Juneteenth? Shut it down then.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, Juneteenth is a new,
Yeah. It's
phenomenon, and it's gonna take some years for that to catch on.
It's been a few years, but y'all was talking about the adoptions and that I have a cousin that gave up one of her daughters for adoption, and the daughter went to a white family. And I probably met the girl. It's supposed to be an open adoption, so she should be in contact with the daughter, but she's not. And she really hasn't been. But in the beginning, the white mom used to bring the daughter around when she was a baby, and then after she got of age a little bit. And I wasn't there, but I remember my mom saying that when the adopted mom brought the daughter around, and the white mom was telling the daughter, like, this is your biological family, blah, blah, blah. But my mom said the daughter was like, but they're Black. Like, you're Black. You have a white mom, but you're Black, And as far as, it's just an assumption on my part. My cousin that gave this daughter away, this daughter was a brown girl, dark skinned girl like myself, whereas she has another daughter and she has a son that she kept both high yellow.
Wow.
Kept those two kids. So it was just a thought of mine that you gave this child away because she didn't meet your complexion standards or whatever. And then this same cousin, her son, I don't know, I think they had went to Florida or whatever for vacation. And he got tanked. And oh my God, she was highly upset at how brown her son had became from being out in the sun. Like she was on a rampage. And I just, I don't understand that. I could not understand that.
Colorism is real.
Yeah,
Colorism
It is.
I know it is, but oh my God, I was just like,
And
wow.
what's so sad is it's real today in
2022.
So it's not just
very
blacks,
real.
it's for multiple nationalities, even Asian nationalities. They don't like the darker. It's just it's real across the board, and most people
global. It's global now.
It is. And then most people deny, like, oh no, it doesn't exist. It does exist.
Definitely
the same way they're like, oh, racism doesn't exist. It does exist. It's like, because you're doing this, you feel that you aren't racist or whatever, but it does exist.
It does. That's true.
Yeah. So back to the holidays, they don't even celebrate Martin Luther King holiday in some of the states here. So, but at the same time, they love to say we're not a racist country. I don't see how you're not,
Right.
So like Juneteenth, that's going to take one. Again, even though it's a federal holiday, like Martin Luther King, they don't celebrate it the same way.
It's a recent federal holiday.
Yeah, they're not going to celebrate it. Different states, because we have, even though they say Ohio isn't a Commonwealth state, we pretty much closely act like it. But they love to say, oh, we're not prejudiced, we're not this, but yes, you are. And I just keep it moving.
Juneteenth is what do you call it? A new holiday. Black history has been celebrating since I've been born, and we still don't do shit. Point blank. Period.
And I work in the school.
I
don't even feel like they teach it. Yeah, they don't even teach it in the schools.
Exactly. It's gonna be like that for years beyond. I mean, it's gotten a little better than years ago, but it's gonna always be. We're gonna always have division, regardless, because people don't get it, and they've taken it out of the schools. So we're gonna always be fighting this. This is gonna it's not going anywhere.
Always gonna be a thing.
Always gonna be a thing. It's not going.
So you have those who want to celebrate it and teach it, then you have those who want to forget it. They want to be, how can I say, which I think this country is crazy, because they always try to push our rules on, even when they go visit other countries, they want to push our rules onto other countries. They're not, they're their own entity. The same way with us, they push whatever on us, but we still have people that, you have those who want to celebrate our culture, and then you have those who want to be far, far away from our culture. So, to each his own.
Yeah, those are the brainwashed ones that don't know any better and think that it's better to conform and assimilate as opposed to embracing your differences.
Exactly.
And this whole matter of the critical race theory and all of that, and taking our information out of schools. I'm, to be perfectly honest, I felt really like about it at first, but now after some really careful consideration and knowing that when my children were growing up and what they were getting, they ain't getting it in school anyway. What we have to learn to do is be responsible in our own education. I think it was Dr. John Henry Clark that says the highest education is the one that you give yourself. And I think that we need to start just even if it's just little small programs, Saturday schools or after school, this and that, to give our children our history the way we know it to be true, because we can't leave it up to their ass no way, because before this whole conversation about taking it out of school, do you know a lot of textbooks changed the way they the verbiage about slavery? They started calling them like a involuntary
indentured servants.
It went beyond that though too.
So, but they also want to check them words out. Like I don't know if it was Uncle Tom's Cabin. This was something but they had the word nigga. They want to take the word nigga out. Well, that's what you called him, a nigga. So why you want to take that word out?
Exactly.
Now
Don't
it's like,
change the shit
I
now.
want to say no, we didn't do that. Or slavery. Oh no, we gave them land. No, y'all didn't give us anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all took us.
Right.
But you know, it's just when they change the words, or sometimes when they be like, oh, to me, let them fly them flags, because that shows exactly how racist you are. But you know, a lot of times people be like, oh no, we need to get rid of that. No. Sit there and explain why it stands.
Exactly. I'd rather know the enemy. I'd rather know the enemy that you are. Exactly. And Lysandra, look, girl, you ain't never lied. On the Mexican, what was the Mexican Independence Day or something back in the summer? I was on my way to the airport to pick up my cousin, and I was caught up in that weekend. And I'm telling you, I was like, what the hell is going on right now? So I rolled down my window. It was a big old pickup truck right in that part that was in the lane next to me. And I said, what is this? What's going on today? And so she was like, oh, it's Mexican Independence. I was like, oh, congratulations. And I just kept moving. And then I just started reflecting back on how their independence is so important and so empowering to them that they gonna let every damn body in the city, in the country know. And this shit was happening wherever they were, in whatever city, whatever town. And I said,
and you might as well say with police escorts, because the
police escorts, come on,
allow us Black people to be out here and doing it that big like that.
No, never. And the sad part to me was, I was really choked up about it. I said, damn, we helped build this motherfucker. And if we did something like this, it would be police for real, but in another way.
Exactly.
Shooting to kill and all of that kind of BS. And I think that that's something that has made us kind of dumb down our cultural expression and our pridefulness about it, because of fear of being persecuted and ridiculed and shit by it. Man may end up dead because you're trying to celebrate what we have a right to celebrate, just like everybody else does. And it's really sad.
Yeah, it's really sad, and I just be wondering, like, in February, I try to find anything we can to celebrate our culture, but sometimes it's hard to find things, me and Tawana used to go to Malcolm X in February for Black History, and they had wasn't a week thing, about a couple of days. It was like a weekend type of thing, or maybe just like Friday and Saturday. We would go there, but that I don't think they were doing that anymore. They stopped, so it's just when February come, I'm trying to find whatever I can. So if you all find information, please send it to me so we can do something, and like I say, we get the whole month, and I just wish that we could just come together and do things on our own, like she stated, or just do something, but it's like, it come February, it just get quiet in the motherfucker.
And I work
for the whole damn month.
Yeah.
You don't hear no motherfucking bongos, you don't hear no music, you don't hear shit. It's just February. I mean, we even celebrate St. Patrick. We walk around here with green fucking shirts on with St. Patrick on. Our dumbasses walking down the street talking about, you
kiss me, I'm Irish.
Right. And my last name is Patrick. I ain't out there with that stupid shit.
And we just use it as a day to get drunk. We don't know shit about St. Patrick. We don't know nothing about nothing. But we got our motherfucking green t-shirts on, green hats, green shit, everything green on.
And we're sipping on something. True story.
Yeah. So anyway, let's just do better, people. I swear, oh Lord, I clap. So yeah, for real though, if y'all get some information, if y'all find anything, please let me know. Please send it to my phone so we could do something as a group or whatever and try to celebrate Black History. So yeah, I got one more question. What surprised you the most about Mia's background? That's gonna be the last question. What surprised you the most about Mia's background? Mm.
Mhm.
I think other than the fact that she had money but was living like a hobo.
I think she did that also to stay off the grid. It
Yeah,
wasn't so much
she
because
didn't
she
want to be
knew
found.
she didn't want to be found. It wasn't, yeah, she could, the money amount, that was crazy the way she was living or whatever, or how she had, or even like you said, the child. But I think it was more because she didn't want to be found or make anything big, or that's why everything was anonymous. You know, she donated, you know, well, she sold her work, but it wasn't, the people would come and buy her work, but they didn't know exactly it was her who was doing that work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, in the book, to me, it kind of built it up. Like her love for her brother before he was born is almost like her love for Pearl. You know what I'm saying? So everything, and then her eye when she was younger, how she saw things different. It's kind of like her art building up. So everything was like, oh, okay. But the only thing I think, well, most surprising is, you know, she came from a 2-parent household, but she didn't want to give that to Pearl. You know.
Yeah. I noticed that it seemed like to me in the book, as far as her background, like she really wasn't sexually in the book. Like she hadn't really been with anybody. They was basically saying like she had never seen a man naked before. You know what I mean? Like it was just her brother and that was it in her artwork. Like that was the only two things that she had love for. But in the movie, every time I looked up, she was fucking like it was this dream with her banging some man. It was like, and she had the man in the car with the baby in the back seat. She was like, "You're gonna have to leave."
Yeah.
And I'm like, when she showed getting it in, seemed like a lot. And y'all said,
so that goes to Hollywood. Hollywood portrays Black women as being sexual deviants.
Yes.
But this book showed her as most Black women are, like how they want to do the abortion ban, but as they said, it don't affect most Black women because they portray us as being sexual active and just having, yeah, some of us are sexual active and some of us are promiscuous, but majority of us, we're not out there having babies going to get abortion, you know.
And a lot of them are the
home.
same. They just don't put them out there like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, you know, like how they want to, as they say, save their race, but as clearly in this book, who they're saving is our race, because again, here I am, a white woman having a mixed baby. I aborted this child so I can go ahead and get married to a white man later in the future and for whatever. You go save our race in the end, because eventually everybody's going to be mixed according to your standards that, oh, they're all Black because, you know, they got Black blood in them. But it's like, do whatever you got to do. But it's like, you're not hurting us. But in the book, it made her seem pure and innocent, you know? And that's why, like in the portrait, they called her the Virgin Mother, because she hadn't really had sex, you know what I'm saying? And but in the movies, Hollywood want to portray us as, oh, we just giving our bodies away to everybody, you know? Like, okay, whatever.
yeah. Yeah.
So that was to me the Hollywood sensation, you know, but not the real life sensation. So even like in this book, the author describes all the people that was the most promiscuous was the Caucasian young girls, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the Black girls, they was just going, doing whatever, just trying to fit in and do whatever, you know?
Yes, absolutely. Anybody have anything else to share about the book?
But at the
Anything?
end, didn't she take the girl to meet the dad, the biological dad?
I ain't get to
She
that
did.
in the book. In
She
the
did.
movie, they did. In the
In
movie, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in the movie, it was the grandparents. It wasn't the dad.
No, she
No,
took her
she
to,
did. She took him to go. She took Pearl to go
In the
finally meet her
movie?
real dad.
at the end.
The Ryans.
I thought it was
Yeah,
their
in the
grandparents.
series.
I thought it was the grandparents. No?
Mm-mm.
Okay, it's
Because she
been
told her, I want to go. She said
years.
when they had left the Richardson, gave them the keys and stuff. She was like, where do you want to go to? We can always go to New York. And she was like, no, I know where I want to go to. And they ended up at, she was like, go in there and meet your father.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. Mia didn't go in though. She just stayed outside.
No. Mhm.
But she let Pearl go in there and meet her dad. And
see, that's why I thought they should have a season 2, because what happened? They just left us hanging.
Exactly. What happened to Izzy? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And what happened to Izzy?
Izzy moved in with Mia and Pearl.
Mia.
I know, but still, she was still a minor and like
On the
what
road, yeah.
happened?
Yeah, but I think they had said they had stopped the season because of COVID at that time. So I guess they never got it back going.
Yeah, COVID the destroyer.
Yeah. So we can pick the book for next month. I'll send you guys the list. Let me know whatever y'all want to read, and then I'll also send out the YouTube information. Please let you guys people know about the YouTube channel. Please subscribe, members. Please just hit the button, subscribe on there, and watch our videos so y'all can see our beautiful faces and listen to our wonderful discussions. Like I said, I will put some more up there. It's about maybe 5 or 6 videos for now, so y'all can check them out and spread the word. So yeah, we'll find out what we're gonna meet, what we're gonna read next month. Send me your number and your book, and that'll be it. Anybody need the book list? I sent it out last month. I know Tawana, you probably gonna need it. I'll just send it in the group chat.
Okay.
Okay. All right. All right.
Okay.
Anybody got anything else to talk about? Share anything before we go? Nope.
I'm headed to Nigeria.
Are you?
Oh wow. That's awesome.
When you
That
leaving?
There are pictures in the group.
I'm at the airport now.
Wow.
When are you expected to get there?
I'll get there Monday night.
How long is the flight?
I have a layover in Paris. So Paris to Lagos is 6 hours.
Oh, that's
How
not
long are
bad.
you in Paris? Will you get to explore any?
No, I'm not gonna go out. It's too tight. It's 6 hours, but it's still too tight. Just how
Yeah.
far the airport is from the center. So I'm just gonna stay in the airport and be in the lounge like I am now.
Who you going with? You going?
It's a group. My cousin is going on a tour with me, so it's a group.
Oh, that's so awesome. Next time, let a sister know I want to go.
Oh, okay, okay.
How long you gonna be there?
A week.
Oh man, take
Nice.
lots of pictures.
Yeah, send us some pictures.
Nigeria,
Oh,
that's my ancestry.
okay. Yeah, I think it's all of ours. I think it's mine too. I went to Ghana, so I don't know, but I don't see her in Nigeria. I think Nigeria is probably part of me too, though.
Yeah, Nigeria and Ghana. I got both.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
I was gonna be going to Ghana next month, but some friends, but I guess they changed their mind. They're gonna wait, I think, until 24. But whenever, I'm down.
Wow. Have fun, Michelle. Pick me up a little purse or something. Send that shit to me, girl.
I
Give
know.
me a
Look,
cloth or
let me
something.
cash
Shit.
out you a few dollars.
Gotta some from
A shot
Nigeria.
glass.
Hey.
Okay, I see what they got out there. I'll send a video or something. What folks
Yeah,
want.
send us some pictures or something, girl. All right, have fun, girl.
Have fun.
That's what I'm
Yes.
talking about, girl.
Awesome.
Okay.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Send me y'all information. Just send me the book and I'll send the stuff to the chat. And you all have a wonderful Sunday.
You as well. Bye-bye.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye.
See everybody. It's been a minute.